Oh, Grant.
Good catch.
Way to use the camera.
Okay, we'll start with questions for the student athletes. First question up front. Remember to let us know who you are, who you're with, wait for the mic, and if you could address the question to a specific student athlete. First question, go.
Yeah, hey, this is for Max, Steve Reed from the Associated Press here in Charlotte. How you doing? Hey, you and Isaiah, I guess are pretty close. Is that correct? Or you guys played high school against each other, or high school ball against each other? Can you kind of update me on like that relationship and how close are you guys? How much did you play in high school, and what's it going to be like playing against each other?
Yeah, I mean, we're both from Dallas area. Grew up playing against each other in the AAU, and then our senior years in high school, we were in the same district. So we played against each other a couple of times then too, and then in college, getting a chance to work out together over with Tyler Ruff a little bit. So we got a pretty good relationship, and excited to compete against him. I mean, he's had a great career. He's one of the elite point guards in the country. So looking forward to competing with him.
Front row to our right.
Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports. Questions for Dylan, for Brock. Just wondering if you guys could talk about the sense of urgency coming off of Kansas City in the first round exit there. Just where's the sense of urgency with this team right now heading into tomorrow's game?
It's the NCAA tournament. Everyone's urgent. Everybody wants to win games. We didn't put our best foot forward in Kansas City, but we spent the last week getting better and progressing to play our best basketball in March.
Dylan?
Yeah, just like Brock said, everybody wants to win. A lot of guys on this team, not a lot, but there's some new guys on this team that haven't been to the tournament before, so they're excited for the opportunity to play, and then the guys that have been here before know what it's about, and everybody wants to make a run, so everyone's excited to play.
Second row to our left.
Hey, Kelly Blackburn from Niner Times. This is more so just a fun question for y'all to answer, but I seen the other day that Texas alumni Bijan Robinson picked y'all to win it all. How do y'all feel about that? And just overall, what are your thoughts headed into March Madness?
We appreciate the love from Bijan and all of our alumni. Our thoughts heading in are just to go out there and compete, play hard on defense, and if we take care of the little things on defense, and we'll put ourselves in a position to win games.
Max?
Yeah, I mean, he said it. Definitely appreciate all the support from Longhorn Nation. And so, I mean, we're excited to compete. I mean, this is, what we've been working for since the summer for this moment right here. So we're going to embrace it and enjoy it and do what we can to put ourselves in the best position to win.
Max took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I can't say anything better than that.
Josh Newman, LoneStarLive.com. Max, how seamless or how difficult was it to kind of walk into a situation where you had a lot of veteran guys like Dylan, like Brock, and as an older guy yourself, trying to take over a leadership role, trying to find your niche, trying to find your space?
I think, from the jump, just talking with RT through the recruiting process and kind of the vision that he saw for me and the role he wanted me to play, and understanding that. And I think it's easy because you have older guys who have had success, and they understand what it takes. So I think that's an advantage for us. At the end of the day, we're all working together to be leaders. If we see something, we're going to correct it or help out with little things.
To our right.
Nick Carboni from NBC here in Charlotte. Welcome, guys. I'll just pose this to Brock and to you, Dylan. What's it going to be like to play a team that you just found out you were playing last night? Were you able to watch that game, scout them a little bit? How did that go for you?
Yeah, we've been scouting since since the tournament came out and Selection Show Sunday, but really our effort has been put towards getting better as a team. We didn't know who we were going to play until last night, but it's similar to the Big 12 tournament. Of course, you play those guys before, but one-day prep, Saturday, Big Monday, we've been preparing for it all season. That's part of March basketball, so we have to adapt.
Dylan?
Yeah, Brock said it all right there. Just like Saturday, Mondays in the Big 12, we were lucky enough to play, I think, 3 of those this season, so we have a little bit of experience with quick turnarounds, one-day preps. So if we continue to stick to our game plan, come out, play hard, then we feel like we'll put ourselves in a good position to have success.
We'll also open questions for those of you on Zoom. Please use the raise hand function if you have a question, and we'll get to you. Any other questions in the room? Back aisle.
Yeah, Max. Max, Kevin Sweeney, Sports Illustrated. Does it feel any different entering the tournament as at a big brand, where you're going to be more the hunted than hunter, and if so, how different is that sensation?
I wouldn't say it's too much different. It's the same mindset, same goal going into it. I think that being here a couple of times already, kind of just understanding and knowing what to expect. There is a target on our back though, so I'm gonna enjoy it all and embrace the whole thing.
Thank you guys for being here. We're excited about this opportunity. March Madness doesn't get any better than this time of year. I think our guys are hungry, and obviously we got a great opponent in Colorado State, who we have a lot of respect for. We'll be ready for competition tomorrow.
Questions, raise your hand, let us know who you are, who you're with, and reminder that no recording on cell phones or any other device. First question, front row.
Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports RT. Just a two-part question for you. One, just wondering if you could talk about really the sense of urgency in this room, especially coming off of last week in Kansas City. And the second part of that question is, you've always preached that 24-hour mentality, win or lose, keep it for 24 hours. How does that benefit your team in a situation like this where it's single elimination?
Well, I think, Eric, all year long, we've had to have a short memory. If we have a hangover in the Big 12, you lose the next game. So, you're only as good at with the win or loss on that given night. Big 12 tournament's done. We're in the NCAA tournament now. It's 0-0, and everybody's got an opportunity, and you're on a neutral court. You're going to play a great opponent. We've had time to get back and work on some things that we try to do best, and hone in on some details to be prepared for a quality opponent here in Colorado State right now at the moment. So I think, again, our guys are excited about the opportunity, and we've had a short memory all year.
Second row.
Josh Newman, LoneStarLive.com. Rodney, there's been a lot of talk recently about whether or not the NCAA tournament should expand. Rick Pitino and Tom Izzo have both weighed in saying that not only should they look at that, but maybe they should add some ex-coaches, ex-players to the committee to help. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea to add ex-coaches and players?
Well, I think it's always great to have some insight from guys that are actually, in the mix right now doing it. Professionally, it always, I think, helps when you have a committee to have someone that's currently involved in actually doing it right now. I think that always helps in terms of discussion in the room. As far as expanding, I don't know. I think the model's been pretty good. It really has, So always open for change. Life is about changing, adapting, and adjusting as well. So you never rule out the opportunity, to expand, and everything. But, we try to control what we can control. I know as coaches, we just try to coach our teams and have our guys in the best position to be prepared for what they're encountering. But I do think will be wise and good to have a coach in the room.
Front row to our left.
Coach Steve Reed from the Associated Press. I wonder if you can speak to the point guard matchup in this game against Colorado State and how critical that will be to the outcome.
Well, I don't think it gets any better than what we have here. You got two guys here that are two Texas guys. Isaiah Stevens, a kid out of Allen High School, won a state championship. He's had an incredible career over at Colorado State, all-time leading scorer, I believe, and maybe an all-time assist guy there, And Max Abmas, again, what he's been able to do, 3,000-point score, makes everyone else better around him. Both of those guys have won at a very, very high level. They're both two guys that have, I think played collegiately with a chip on their shoulder to show people that that they can play on the main stage and get things done at a very high level, and they both won at a very high level. And I'm glad they're getting a chance to be on this stage. These two guys, with the careers that they've had, people around the country need to know these two guys, and that they had an impact on the college game. You're not going to see two better point guards, in college basketball than what you'll see tomorrow night with Isaiah on Colorado State and Max Abmas for us.
Other questions? Front row again.
RT, just wondering, how much of your job at a time like this is just managing players' emotions, considering obviously it's a highly emotional time in the NCAA tournament?
Well, Eric, we talk about all the time, and I know even, in the midst of the Big 12 conference race, I think so much is made of the physical part of the game and physical aspect of being prepared to play. But I also think that there's a undervalued mental aspect of the game. And we talk all the time about your headspace. Where's your headspace? Are you mentally prepared to handle the details that we have to deal with in situations when things are going good, things are going bad? But I think guys are at their best when they're in a great space and they fully understand what their roles are and their stars in their roles.
Rodney, in this day and age of roster construction and the portal, you're able to go out and get a guy like Max, who's an older guy who's been through a lot. Is it fair to say that has panned out really well? An older guy, adding him to other older guys like Dylan and Brock, and things have just worked out?
It's been a great formula for us. From the time that we've been able to get back to Texas, we wanted to stay older. We wanted to have a very, very competitive team from day one. We've gone in the portal and done extremely well. We've gotten Marcus Carr, that was 2 years with us. Timmy Allen, 2 years with us. We got 1 year with Jabari Rice. Just go right down the list. Kristen Bishop was really good for us. Obviously, Dessou has been great for us as well. You want to stay older, and I think in recruiting, we're going to still recruit the best talent, high school players that could come in and play for us. But if a guy says he's not going to recruit the portal, then he's probably lying. He's going to try to stay older. We're playing an older team in Colorado State. They've done a great job navigating through the portal transfer model as well. They went through the Division II model, and Player of the Year, man, really, really good players. When you talk about Scott, physical, really, really good player. You talk about Cartier, those guys are good players. And I think when you do that too as well, those guys come in with the chip on their shoulder and they finally get a chance to play on this main stage and they shine. And you got to stay in that portal though. It's worked great for us. We'll continue to be in the portal.
A reminder to our friends on Zoom, if you have a question, please use the raise hand function. We'll get to you. Next question, back right.
Craig Way, Longhorn Radio Network and AM 1300 The Zone in Austin. RT, was last night different from a normal dinner and sit down and look at film situation because you had your opponent playing live at the time and you guys gathering to watch it?
No, sure, for sure, Craig. I think for us, a unique situation in terms of not knowing who your opponent's going to be, and you've got to prepare for both teams, not knowing who you're going to actually play until the night of competition is completed. So, we had to, I know myself personally, you had to scout both teams, prior to even getting here. Probably watch about 4 games on Virginia, watch 4 games on Colorado State to familiarize yourself with those guys. And I think also when you approach practice, not knowing the actual opponent, you still worked on things you needed to continue to work on to be really good at, to execute both offensively and defensively. But you also were working on things for both of those opponents. 2 similar kind of opponents, to be honest. Both really good defensive teams, really good transition defensive teams. Colorado State offensively, very, very good, well coached. Both of them do a great job of really trying to keep you out of the paint and defend the paint really well. Great passing team, really good shooting team. So we knew we were going to have to work on those things and continue to work on the things we need to get better with to be prepared for our opponent.
Rodney Moore, just an observation. Brock was up here with his right thumb bandaged. He'd been wearing a brace while playing. Is he done with the brace? Is he down to tape? And is that an indication that he's moving closer to full health?
No, he's, Brock's a tough kid. And if it was going to happen to anybody on our roster, you probably pick him to be the guy to do it. But, he had a really bad hand injury in the Baylor game. And from that point on, he's been toughing through it, whether it be in practice, in games. And it's one of those situations that's, at any time it could go a different direction for us. And he's been able to push through it and work through the pain-tolerant part of it. But he'll have it wrapped up, and he'll go out and play the way he's always played and try to play through that pain.
Any other questions here in the room or on Zoom? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.